Hi everyone, welcome back once again in my YouTube channel. So guys, I hope you all are doing great. And guys, in last video I have discussed one important interview topic, that was a Spring Boot interview question. What all the question I have created from the candidate who have already given the interview in different MNC company. But today what I am going to discuss, so that also one of the important topic in interview, that is microservices. So all the question what I will discuss today, that is microservices. The all top 15 question only. So generally this question asked in the what, by the interviewer in the interview room. So guys, please be concentrate and okay, listen carefully. So what I will discuss is very important for the interview point of view. So guys, first I will show you all the question, what the question mostly asked in the interview room by the interviewer. So already I mentioned same thing. So I have created the all 15 most important question which is asked in the interview. So that's question guys, I will explain one by one. Okay, so guys see, so first question, what is the first question? What is microservice architecture and how does it differ from a monolithic architecture, right? So generally when interviewer asks this question, definitely they will expect why we need the microservice architecture. Already if you have monolithic architecture. So first you need to know the difference. Exact difference you need to tell to the interviewer. Only they can convince. Otherwise, they will not but convince with your answer. So that is the most important question for any interview for the microservices. Right? Second question, guys, what are the key benefits of microservice architecture? If you are going to implement microservice in your project, what is the benefit? Why we are going to use this architecture? This is also one important question. Then question is what? Third question, what challenges are associated with microservices? If you are going to use microservices, what are the challenges may you face? Okay. The next question, guys, how do you manage inter-service communication in a microservice architecture? Right? This is one most important question. Mostly in every interviewer asks this question to the what candidate. Next question, guys, what is service discovery and why it is important in microservices? Next, explain the concept of service orchestration and service choreography. Okay. Then next question, how do you handle data consistency across microservices? Next, what is the role of an API gateway in microservice architecture? Then how do you secure microservices? How do you secure microservices? That is also very important question at the security level. Okay. Then next question, what strategy do you use for scaling microservices? Because in your project so many microservices you're going to use, right? Going to implement. Then how you're going to scale up and how you're going to scale down. That question also very important. And guys, next question, how do you implement distributed logging and monitoring for microservices? This is also very important question, guys. See what all the question I have collected from the candidate. Already they have attended the interview, right? And such question asked by the interviewer. So maybe if also you're going to give the interview, such type question may asked by the interviewer. That's why please be concentrated and collect all the question in your bucket as well, right? So it will helpful for you. Okay, next question, what are some common patterns for handling distributed transaction? Right? Next question, guys, how do you handle error management and fault tolerance in microservices? This question also mostly asked by the interviewer. That's why we should know answer for this question very what? Concrete way. Next question, guys, explain the circuit breaker pattern and its importance in microservices. Right? That is fault tolerance. This question belongs to that. Okay. Next question, guys, last but not least, how do you perform service versioning in a microservice architecture? Guys, all 15 questions. If you will prepare before attending the interview, definitely you can't miss any question related to the microservices. This is my what assurance to you all people. Definitely the question will come across only for from this 15 question guide. So guys, please be concentrated. I will explain one by one. If you want to note down, you can note down with notepad, okay, or your notebook. So guys, see, after completion of all the question, if even if you have any doubt, any confusion, please do comment in comment section. Definitely I will reply back to you once I will get some time, guys. Okay, so guys, without wasting the time, we'll start all the answer one by one. And the guys who want to interested to note down all the answer what I'm going to discuss, please what note down with your notebook, guys. So see, first question, what is microservices architecture and how does it differ from a monolithic architecture, guys? So guys, please listen carefully, okay, and concentrate, be focused. So I see, microservice architecture is a design. What? Microservice architecture is a design approach where an application is built as a collection of a small, loosely coupled and independently deployable service. What I have told, once again I will repeat. So guys, this is the very simple layman term answer. You need to give the respective what interviewer. What? Microservice architecture is a design approach where an application is built as a collection of what? A small, loosely coupled and independently deployable services. Independently means what? Isolated deployable services, right? Each responsible, right? Each responsible for a specific business capability, right? Might be already you have implemented so many microservice architecture, right? So see, suppose if you are going to implement a banking application, right? So you will have what? Payment application, right? Payment microservice, right? In that you are going to implement all the payment related stuff, right? So that's what I have told. So it's a collection of a small, loosely coupled and independent deployable services, right? And each service responsible for a specific business capability. So guys, this answer you need to tell to the respective what? Interviewer. Guys, in other way also we can see, right? In contrast of monolithic architecture. So how it is different from the monolithic architecture? So what is monolithic architecture? See, monolithic architecture is a traditional approach, guys. What? Monolithic architecture is a traditional approach where the entire application is built as a single unified unit. Yes or no? Its name refers, as the name refers, monolithic means what? Single architecture. That means what? It is a what? Monolithic architecture is a what? Traditional approach where the entire application is built as a single unified unit. That's why it's called a monolithic architecture, not a microservice architecture. Micro means a small. Already I've told you, guys, of a small what? Services, a small application, right? Guys, see, the key difference is that microservices are modular and can be developed, deployed and scaled independently, whereas monolithic applications are the tightly integrated and often require a full redeployment for changes. Yes or no? Guys, once again I am repeating because this first question is very important, right? So what is the key difference between microservice architecture and monolithic architecture? So the key difference is that microservices are modular and can be developed, what? Deployed and scaled independently, guys. Yes or no? Isolated means what? Independently. Where monolithic architecture, monolithic application are tightly integrated and require a full redeployment for any changes. I hope this answer what? It makes sense for you people, right? If you will able to give such an answer to the to the interviewer, definitely they will convince. Okay guys, so I am just moving on. Second question, what are the key benefit of microservice architecture, guys? This is also very, very important. You should know answer for this question, right? Then your confidence will be boosted up because you know something and you will give the answer the interviewer very what confidently, right? So what are the guys key benefits of the microservices? Guys, see, the key benefit of microservices architecture include all the points what I am going to discuss here. Scalability, guys. Scalability means what? Individual services can be scaled independently based on their requirement, based on their needs. This is the first benefit for the microservice architecture. Second, get flexibility means what? Different services can use different technology and frameworks. That is the flexibility. Guys, third is the resilience means what? Failure in one service doesn't necessarily affect the entire system. That is a main important benefit for microservice architecture. What? Resilience means what? Failure in one service doesn't necessarily what? Affect the entire system. Right, guys? Next point, guys, deployability. What? Services can be developed, tested and deployed independently, guys. This is also most important key feature of the microservice architecture. What? Deployability means what? Services can develop, tested and deployed independently, guys. Next benefit, guys, maintainability. What? Maintainability. A smaller code base are easier to understand and manage. That's why we can say it is maintainability, right? So guys, last, team autonomy, right? So different teams can work on different services, improving productivity. So guys, these are all the points, guys. It's key benefit of a microservice architecture creation. Okay, if you're going to implement any microservices, these are all the points we should aware. You should remember. Then your what? Microservice will be what? More attractive, more what? Flexible. So guys, next question, what challenges are associated with microservices, guys? So guys, see, challenge is what difficulties you may face while you're going to implement microservices, right? So guys, see, challenges associated with microservices includes these all points, guys. Please keep remember. So first, guys, complexity. What? Complexity. Guys, managing multiple services adds operational and architectural complexity. You may get. Got it? Second, guy, inter-service communication. That is the second challenge, guy. If you're going to implement microservices, means what? Require careful design. What, guy? If you're going to implement inter-service communication, because in your microservices, definitely you will have what? More than one services. That is a small independent services, right? So if you're going to use inter-service communication, that means it requires careful design to handle service to service communication and data exchange, guy. That is the also one point that is challenging for the microservices. Right, guy? Next point, guy, what other challenges? Data consistency, guy. What are challenges? Data consistency. Ensuring consistency across distributed services can be challenging. This is one main point, guy. So if you're going to use microservices, so this point also you may remember, right? So data consistency. Ensuring consistency across distributed services can be challenging, guy. Next challenge is what? Deployment. So coordinating deployments and handling versioning can be complex. Please keep in mind, guys. Next challenge is monitoring and debugging. Tracking and what? Diagnosing what? Issue across multiple services require advanced tools and strategy, guys. If you're going to monitor and debugging, that means you need to track and diagnose issues across multiple services require advanced tools and strategy. Only you are able to monitor and debug, guys. So guys, last challenge is may you face security. So ensuring consistent security policy and managing authentication and authorization across services can be complex, guys. In microservices, you may get you may get such type of challenge also. What? As per the security level. So ensuring consistent security policies and managing authentication and authorization across services can be complex. So that type of things also you need to keep in mind when you're going to implement microservices in your project. Right, guys? So that was the challenges of associated with microservices, guys. Next question, guys. How do you manage inter-service communication in microservice architecture, guys? So what should be this, guy, appropriate answer? Please listen carefully, guys. So guys, don't worry if you will comment in the comment section. If you need all the answer in PDF format, definitely I will also upload this all the answer in PDF format. Okay, even as of now you just listen carefully, and if you want to note down, you note down some notebook, okay, on notebook, so it will helpful for you remembering in future. So what, guys? Next question. What do you manage the inter-service communication in microservice architecture, guys? So guys, see, if you want to communicate if you want inter-service communication in microservice architecture, so you may use, guys, REST API, right? So inter-service communication can be managed using all the points what I'm going to explain. So REST API, guys. So services expose RESTful endpoint or synchronous communication, right? Guys, next thing is message broker, right? You know very well, right? Use message request, use message queue or brokers, just like, guys, RabbitMQ, Kafka, that is asynchronous, guys. For asynchronous communication, you may use what? RabbitMQ, Kafka, JMS, right? These all are the service communication when your service is asynchronous communication. In synchronous, you can use REST API, that is REST client, guy, REST template, fin client, right? That is the synchronous communication strategy, guy. But if you want to use asynchronous communication, that time you need to use RabbitMQ, JMS, Kafka. You know very well, guys. Next point, JPRC. What? JRPC, guys. gRPC means a high performance open source RPC framework that uses HTTP for communication, guys. So RPC call also, you know very well, it's high performance open source RPC framework. With the help of that, you can also use inter-service communication, guys. So guys, next but last or not least, service mesh tool likes that STO provide advanced traffic management, load balancing, and service to service communication feature with the help of service mesh, right? So guys, these are all the strategy, all the points with the help of you can use inter-service communication in microservice architecture. So guys, next question, what is service discovery and why it is important in microservices? What is service discovery and why it is important in microservices, guys? So this question also generally asked by the interviewer. So guys, please be concentrated. So what I am going to explain, right? What a question, guys. What is service discovery and why it is important in microservices? So guys, see, service discovery is a mechanism. Simple thing, guys. In layman term, I am explaining this thing. Service discovery is a mechanism that enable services to find and communicate with each other in a dynamic environment. What, guys? Once again, I am explaining. So service discovery is a mechanism, just keep in mind, that enables services to find and communicate with each other in a dynamic environment. So it is important, guys. Why? Because it allows services to register their availability with a service registry and enable client and other services to discover and interact with them without hard coding service location. Yes or no, guys? Once again, I will explain this thing. Just listen carefully. So guys, it is important. Why? Because it allows services to register their availability with a service registry and enables client and other services to discover and interact with them without hard coding service location. Yes or no, guys? This is crucial, guys, in a microservice architecture where services can scale dynamically and their instances can change frequently, guys. That is the main but important point with the service discovery. So guys, I hope you understood the answer clearly. Right guys? So guys, question number 6. Explain the concept of service orchestration and service choreography. This question might be you heard first time, but such type of question asked by the interviewer in the interview room, or also your knowledge sake you should know the answer. Guys, see, service orchestration involves a central controller guide that coordinates the interaction between different services, ensuring that they work together to achieve a specific business process. It often uses a orchestration engine or a workflow manager guide. Service choreography guide, you should know also what is service choreography. So service choreography on the other hand is a what? Decentralized approach. What? It is decentralized approach where each service is responsible for managing its interaction and coordinating with other service independently guide. Okay, it relies on each service knowing how to communicate and collaborate with other without a central coordinator. In what? Orchestration, we are going to the central what? Orchestration, central coordinator. But in this what? Service choreography, we are going to use without a central coordinator. That is the main difference guys. So you should know the answer for this respective question guys. So guys, next question, how do you handle data consistency across microservices? This is very important question guys. This is very important. Mostly this question asked in the interview. How do you handle data consistency across microservices? So guys, data consistency across microservices can be handled using, these are the points by which we can use data consistency guide. We can handle the data consistency. So first one guide, event sourcing guide. Might be you heard. Event sourcing is guide, record changes as a sequence of events, allowing services to reconstruct the state from the event log. Right? And guys, second point by which you can handle the data consistency guide, see what? QRS, command query responsibility segregation. What? Command query responsibility segregation. So separate read and write operation to handle data consistency in complex scenario guide. Guys, next, the way that is saga pattern. With the help of saga pattern also you can handle the data consistency across the microservices. So what is saga pattern guide? So saga pattern means guide, break down transaction into a sequence of a smaller what? Compensating action that are managed and coordinated by the services. This is very important question guys. Sometimes interview may ask what is saga pattern. So in shortly I am going to explain here. So saga pattern is what? Break down transaction into a sequence of a smaller what? Compensating action that are managed and coordinated by the services. If you want to know more depth on that, please comment. I will bring the video saga pattern as well. So guys, the next point by which we can handle the data consistency, that is a two-phase commit. What? Two-phase commit. Use distributed transaction with a commit protocol. Through this approach can be complex and may impact performance. This is the guy two-phase commit approach by which also you can handle the data consistency what? In across microservices. Guys, next question, what is the role of an API gateway in microservices architecture guide? So guys, see, might be you people heard about API gateway. So an API gateway acts as a single entry point guide. What I am thinking, this answer you know, right? So API gateway means it acts as a single entry point for all client requests to the microservices. It handles tasks such as guide routing. Yes, with the help of guide API gateway, you are going to handle routing. Routing means guide directs request to the what? A specific microservices. Means what? Direct request to the appropriate microservices. Right? Guys, next thing, load balancing. Right? So with the help of guide API gateway, you can also handle the load balancing. Distributes requests across multiple instances of services. This thing also handled by the API gateway. Guys, next point, authentication and authorization. With the help of API gateway, also you can handle the authentication and authorization. manages security and access control. Yes or no? With the help of authentication and authorization, what we can do? We can manage security and access control. Guys, next point, what? Request aggregation. What? Request aggregation means what, guys? Combines response from multiple services into a single response. That is called the request aggregation. This is also with the help of what? API gateway, guys. So guys, the next, rate limiting and caching. What? Rate limiting and caching. So guys, what is rate limiting and caching, guys? So this also comes under the API gateway, guys. So control traffics and improves performance by caching response with the help of, guys, API gateway in the microservices. So guys, these all are the points we can what do with the help of API gateway, guys. That is the role of API gateway. You can perform so many operations, right? So guys, next question, how do you secure microservices? This is very important question, guys. I'm repeating it so many times. So this question may asked by the interviewer, mostly in the interview. How do you secure your microservices? That time you should not confuse, guys. You need to give the answer very confidently. What answer, guys? What I am going to explain now. So guys, see, securing microservice involves, guys, authentication, right? Authentication means, guys, use token. Example just like JWT OAuth to authenticate and authorize users and services with the help of authentication. Okay, next thing, authorization. So you see, with the help of all the points, you can secure your microservices. Means you need to use authentication. Already I've told you, with the help of tokens like JWT and OAuth to authenticate and authorize users and services. Next thing is authorization, guys. What is authorization? Implement fine-grained access control and ensure that services only have access to the data and functionalities what as per the requirement. Guys, next thing is encryption. Use TLS for data in transit and encryption for sensitive data at rest. Right? Next, guys, API gateway. So with the help of API gateway also you can secure your microservices. How, guys? So if you're going to API gateway, that means it's centralized security policy and manage access control through an API gateway. Then next, the way, that is service to service security. Use mutual TLS or other mechanism to secure communication between services. These are all the points, guys, by which you can secure your microservices in your application, in your project. Guys, next question, what strategy do you use for scaling microservices? Guys, this also question important. Guys, see, maybe you heard, so I am explaining every question important. Really, it's every question what I have corrected. All the questions are very important, right? So that's why I am explaining to you. So all the questions are very important. You should know answer all the question very very briefly. Then you can explain to the interviewer as per their expectation, right? Guys, why? What question? What strategy do you use for scaling microservices? Correct, guys? So let's see, with the help of this point, what I'm going to explain, you can scaling the microservices, right? So guys, see, horizontal scaling, guy, you heard that. Add more instance of a service to handle increased load, right? What, guy? Horizontal scaling. With the help of horizontal scaling, what? You can scale your microservices. That means what? Add more instance of a service to handle increase the load. The next point, load balancing. With load balancing, also scale the microservices. Distribute incoming requests across multiple instances of a service, right? Guys, third point, auto scaling. Maybe you heard this point. Auto scaling is what, guys? Use cloud services or orchestration tool to automatically scale services based on metrics like the CPU usage or request count, guy. Yes or no? That is auto scaling, guy. Guy, caching. Use cache mechanism, right, to reduce load and improve response time. If you're going to keep in a cache, so it can't hit repeatedly. It can pick from the cache and it can use. That's it improves the response time, guy. Guy, partitioning. Partitioning means what? Divide data and workload into partitions that can manage and scale independently your services, your microservices, right? So guys, all the points are very very important, right? So how are you going to use scaling microservice means what? Horizontal scaling, load balancing, auto scaling, caching, and partitioning. With all the point, with all the way you can scale your microservices very effectively. Okay, that is all the what 10 questions I have done. So guys, next 5 questions. It's also very important. Please listen carefully. So how do you implement distributed logging and monitoring for microservices? Guys, see, distributed logging and monitoring can be implemented using with all the key factors. Guys, see, first, centralized logging. If you want to implement microservices, definitely you should know how you're going to log and monitor, right? So guys, with the help of centralized logging, so guys, collect log from all microservices in a central location. That is guys first way. Guys, next is the distributed. Also guys, one thing, central logging is what? Collect logs from all the microservices in central location using guys some tools. Might be you heard the tools guys. That tools name guys ELK stack. ELK stack means guys Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana or Fluentd. So with the help of this tool, you can use the centralized logging guide. Guys, it looks like very simple. Once the interview asks this question, definitely most of the candidate confused what the answer you need to give to respective interviewer. That time you should not confuse guys. So what I'm going to explain, please be concentrated, please be focused, please listen carefully. So your answer and your thinking skills will be improved guys. So what is the question guys? How do you implement distributed logging and monitoring for microservices? So there are a couple of ways by which you can implement what? Logging and monitoring, right? So guys, first way is the centralized logging. So collect log from all microservices in a central location using tools like a what? ELK stack. That means what? Elasticsearch, what? Logstash, Kibana or Fluentd. Guys, if you want to know more depth on the ELK, please do comment. Also, I will bring such video as well in the coming time. Guys, next thing is a distributed tracing. So track request as the flow what? Through different services using tool like Zipkin or what? Jagger to visualize and diagnose issues. If you're going to use distributed tracing, that means you can log and monitor what? Your log, right? With the help of guide tool is like Zipkin or Jagger to visualize and diagnose the issue guys. Guys, next point is with the help of what? Matrix correction. What? Matrix correction. Use monitoring tool like what? Prometheus and Grafana to collect and visualize metrics from all services guys. That is the matrices collection. Guys, this is also the way by which you can distribute the log and monitor in the microservices. Guys, next is what? Alerting. So alerting is guys set up alert based on the threshold or anomalies to what? Proactively manage and respond the issue. This is also one way by which you can log in and monitor your log. Guys, this is the important question, right? So guys, next question, what are some common patterns for handling distributed transaction? So now as per the transaction, how you're going to use, what is the common patterns by which we can handle the distributed transaction guys. So guys, see, common patterns for handling distributed transaction, that is guys saga pattern. Already I have explained, right? What is saga pattern? Saga pattern is guys, if you need to distribute transaction, definitely you can use saga pattern. Is what? Manage long running transaction with a sequence of step, what? Sequence of step and compensating action to handle the failures. That time you should use saga pattern guys. Next way, that is two-phase commit. Use a commit protocol to ensure all participating services agree on a transaction outcome throughout. It can complex and impact performance. That is also one way by which you can handle the distributed transaction. The last way, that is eventual consistency. What? Eventual consistency. Accept temporary inconsistency and ensure that services eventually reach a consistent state using asynchronous update. So guys, these all three way by which we can handle what? These all the patterns by which we can handle the distributed transaction. Saga pattern, two-phase commit, and eventual consistency. This is the what? The way by which we can handle the distributed transaction. Okay, next question. How do we handle error management and fault tolerance in microservices? This is also one important question, guys, which is mostly asked in the interview. So error management and fault tolerance can be handled by using retries. You may heard retry means automatically retry failed request or operation with exponential backoff. Circuit breaker pattern, you may heard what? Circuit breaker, right? Circuit breaker pattern means what? Prevent what? Repeated failure by breaking the circuit and redirecting traffic when a service is experience issues. Yes or no, guys? Might be you heard, guys. So many places you may use this pattern, right? Circuit breaker pattern, right? So what is circuit breaker pattern, guys? So once again I will explain. Circuit breaker pattern means what? Prevent repeated failure by breaking the circuit and redirecting traffic when a service is experience issues. Okay, that is the second way, second approach by which you can what? Handle the error management and fault tolerance in microservices. Guys, third point, third approach, fallbacks means what? Provide default responses or alternative action when a service fails. Graceful degradation. This is one approach, guys. This is one more approach. Graceful degradation. Ensure the system continues to operate in what? Degrade a state when certain services are unavailable. Guys, this is also one important. And last, guys, the approach monitoring and alerts. Set up monitoring and alert to detect and respond to failure quickly. So guys, these all are the approach by which we can handle the error management or fault tolerance in microservices. That is retry, circuit breaker pattern, fallback, graceful degradation, monitoring and alerts. This is the answer of question number 13. So next question, explain the circuit breaker pattern and its importance in microservices. It's very, very important. Most of the time interview may ask this question. Explain the circuit breaker pattern. What is circuit breaker pattern, guys? So guys, see, in very simple term, very layman term, the circuit breaker pattern is a design pattern. Okay, is a design pattern, guys, which is used to handle failures in a distributed system. First, this thing you should know. What? Circuit breaker is a circuit breaker pattern is a design pattern, guys. Okay, which is used to handle failure in a distributed system. It prevents a service from making a request to a failing service by opening the circuit and redirecting traffic or returning a fallback response. This helps us to what? In our microservices. Right, guys? So guys, prevent cascading failure. So it will prevent the cascading failure, guys, with the help of circuit breaker design pattern, guys. So avoid overwhelming a failing service with more requests. Right, guys? This is the approach. And guys, with the help of circuit breaker, what you can prevent, guys? Improve system resilience. What? Improve the system resilience. Allow the failing service time to recover and prevent the entire system from becoming a unresponsive. With the help of circuit breaker pattern, what you can do, guys? So this is the next point. What? First point was what? Prevent cascading failure. And second is the improve system resilience. Means what? It allow the failing service time to recover and prevent the entire system from becoming a unresponsive. Guys, next point for the which can help circuit design pattern, that is what? Provide fault tolerance. Ensure that the system can continue operating even when some services are experiencing issue. When other services getting what? Experience some issue, this time also it can useful. That means what? That means what we can say? Ensure that the system can continue operating even when some services are experiencing issue. So guys, these are the all points which helpful for the security pattern, right? Guy, last but not least, but it's important question, guy. How do you perform service versioning in microservice architecture? So, guy, so service versioning can be performed using all the approach. URL versioning, guy. With the help of URL versioning, you can what? You can perform the service versioning, guy. So include the version number in the URL path. Example, guy, if you can use API slash B1 slash resource. That means with the help of what? Version number in the URL path. Guys, second versioning is the header versioning, guy. Specify the version in the request header, guy. These all are the approach by which you can perform service versioning in microservice architecture. First is the URL versioning, header versioning, and third is the query parameter versioning. Include the version in a query parameter, guy. And last, media type versioning. Use content negotiation with media type, guy. Right? Example, you can see, you come to know just like example slash my API v1 plus JSON, like that, guy. So these all are the point, guy, by which you can perform the service versioning in microservice architecture. What all those, guy? URL versioning, header versioning, query parameter versioning, and media type versioning, right? These all are the four approach by which we can perform service versioning in microservice architecture. I hope, guys, you got all the answer very effectively what I explained. If here any places any doubt, please do comment. Okay, accordingly I will respond. Okay, your query, guy. That's it, guy. So I hope you like this video, guy, because what I explained, it's very important. All the 15 questions mostly asked in the interviewer, by the interviewer in the interview room, guy. That's it, guy. If you like the video, please like, share, subscribe, right? That it. With this I will more motivated, and I will bring so many video which will helpful for you people, right, guys? Same way I will bring so many video for interview related, all the theoretical, all the coding based. So this time I thought all are the microservices theoretical question which is generally asked in the interview room. That's why I bring all this question. That's it, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. We'll meet in next video very soon.